All right, good evening. Welcome to the Falls Township Board of Supervisors meeting for Monday, June 22nd. We'll begin with the salute to the flag, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Shepard, can you take the roll, please?
Supervisor Galloway.
Here.
Supervisor Latecki.
Here.
Supervisor Palmer.
Here.
Supervisor Mullen.
Here.
And Supervisor Dents.
Here. All right, item number 1 on the agenda. Mr. Clark, can you comment on our executive session, please?
Sure. The board held an executive session prior to tonight's meeting to receive information from my office regarding a proposed zoning hearing board matter. It was for informational purposes only. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken. The board also discussed a matter involving collective bargaining. The board also discussed a matter involving potential litigation. And finally, the board discussed a request from the Township of Falls Authority. Again, this was for informational purposes only. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken.
Thank you. Item number 2 on our agenda is consideration of approval of hiring police officers. We have 4 officers that we're going to propose hiring tonight. Is there a motion?
I want to make a motion to hire the following persons as police officers for the Falls Township Police Department: Natalie Bonilla Pena, Garrett Potter, Bruce Quarles, and Philip Smythe.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, we're now going to swear them in individually. We can come down to the front here.
Natalie, you're first.
There's a handheld mic there.
Jeff didn't forget him today. Look.
There it is.
I, Garrett Potter,
I, Garrett Potter,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
that I solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the laws of this Commonwealth, this government subdivision,
laws of this Commonwealth and government subdivision,
and that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
without consideration to a person's race, color, or sex,
without considerations for a person's race, color, or sex,
religious creed or sexual orientation,
religious creed, or sexual orientation,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
age, national origin, and ancestry,
handicap, or disability,
handicap, or disability.
as a police officer for Falls Township Police,
As a police officer for Falls Township Police,
Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Congratulations. Next. I'll sit on this side. I, Bruce Quarles,
Hi, Bruce Quarles.
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
Do solemnly swear to support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the laws of this Commonwealth and this government subdivision,
the laws of this Commonwealth and this government subdivision.
and that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
I would uphold and obey and enforce the law
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity
without consideration to a person's race, color, sex,
without consideration of person's race, color, or sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
handicap, or disability,
handicap, or disability.
as a police officer for Falls Township Police Department, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
as a police officer for Falls Township Police Department, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Bible for you? Hang on the Bible. Sure. I, Natalie Bonilla Pena,
I, Natalie Bonilla Peña,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the laws of this Commonwealth and this government subdivision,
the laws of this Commonwealth and this government subdivision,
and that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
without consideration to a person's race, color, sex,
without consideration to a person's race, color, or sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
handicap, or disability.
As a police officer for Falls Township Police Department, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
As a police officer for Falls Township Police Department, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
I, Philip Smythe,
I, Philip Smythe,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend
do solemnly swear to support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the laws of this Commonwealth and this governmental subdivision,
the laws of this Commonwealth and subdivision,
and that I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law,
that I will uphold, defend, and obey the law,
and discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
without consideration to a person's race, color, or sex,
without consideration to a person's age, color, or sex,
religious creed or sexual orientation,
religious creed, or sexual orientation,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
age, national origin, or ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
handicap, or disability.
As a police officer for the Falls Township Police Department, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
As a Falls Township police officer of Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yes.
Are you coming up or are we coming down?
Go down.
Jeff, do you have the oath forms? I'll make sure the oath forms get signed by the officers. I'll get these. All right, thank you.
Teresa, should we come down or stay up?
I think stay up.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Is this every year? John, you want to get the sign-in sheet? Next on our agenda is public comment. If you're here for an agenda item, we will take a public comment during the agenda item. I assume we know why everyone else is here. Public comment will be 5
Rich, you have
minutes.
signed it? I think Rich
Excuse
has
me?
it, yeah.
5 minutes per person and 45 minutes max, so we'll get through as many as we can. Residents first, obviously. Residents. Amanda Westerman's first.
Good evening, all. I first stood here a month ago with a petition that had just started 24 hours prior and already had 700 signatures. Today, that petition has now over 3,800 signatures, and it's accompanied by a movement group with close to 1,000 members. These are residents, business owners, and employees, all of whom are within a 6-mile radius who will be significantly impacted by this Amazon AI data center project. Most like myself, just recently became aware of what was actually being constructed at the old steel mill site. We could go back and forth on when, where, and how it made headlines and when it was announced. But let's be honest, we know that there were NDAs, behind closed door deals, fast tracking, and lots of rubber stamping. But for the sake of argument, let's pretend that we were all aware that these warehouses were actually going to be a massive AI hyperscale data center campus a year ago, or even from the beginning. Now fast forward to today. I am a true believer in when you know better, you do better. And what we know about these massive AI data centers today, after much research and studies conducted on already existing and operating sites, is that there will be detrimental impacts on our quality of life and our future, affecting our health, community, and environment within a 6-mile danger zone. Falls Township is at the very center. And no surprise, the closer you are to that site location, the greater the impact. We know this, it's confirmed. You think that because it sits back on an old industrial site, that residents won't be harmed or affected, but that is simply not the case. I come to you today respectfully urging you to keep the lines of communication open between yourselves and Falls Township residents, as you should have already been doing. And as a reminder, these are our homes and quality of life in jeopardy. And another friendly reminder, you do work for us. We gave you those positions. And we, the people, do not want AI data centers here in Falls Township. The citizens of this township have shown that ideally they would prefer to have this project stopped completely, or at the very least paused to allow for further research. We respectfully demand open communication and full transparency moving forward on any and all projects. We would like to implement the Act 14 notice publication, requiring a 30-day notice before an application is filed to show your efforts for full and total transparency with us, the residents. We respectfully demand strict DEP regulations on current projects to protect our air, water, and land, including but not limited to frequent and proper tests and studies to ensure they are within safety limits. We need strict regulations and we need them enforced. They should not be optional. This is an emerging, unregulated industry, and it simply cannot be. We also respectfully demand a municipal curative amendment to provide us with a 180-day moratorium on future data center applications. Any and all potential future projects to properly update our land use zoning codes, especially codes specific to noise pollution, decibels for day and decibels for night. Ordinances need to be put into place and strictly enforced. A month ago, I requested a town hall meeting and now have one scheduled. Excuse me. I apologize.
It's okay.
A month ago, I requested a town hall meeting, and now we have one scheduled. I am very appreciative of yourselves, the board, along with Representative Prokopiak, for getting this meeting confirmed and for providing Falls Township residents the opportunity to have our voices heard and concerns addressed. Thank you for that. But more is still needed. I am requesting that right here and right now, we add a resolution. Please vote on this to get the clock started on a 180-day moratorium on future projects to push pause so that we can make sure proper ordinances are put into place that will restrict future projects. In closing, I ask for you to acknowledge these additional requests and to provide actions and real results on them. We need solutions, not empty promises.
5 minutes.
I thank you all very much for your time this evening, for allowing me the time to speak before you, and for addressing these very real concerns and requests. I appreciate your future efforts in working hard to protect Falls Township residents, our community, and our environment. Let's work together. To keep the lines of communication open, I will plan to follow up on these requests via email. Again, thank you very much for the time to speak.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
All right, the next name on the list is Kevin Schwaller. You can just state your name and where you live, please.
Yeah, Kevin Schwaller, 1213 Pine Grove. Good evening. Thank you again for hearing from all of us here tonight. My goal here is to try to provide some things that I think are actionable items that are within the authority of the township to do since this data center project has already been approved. I've been speaking with experts across the state to try to come up with a list of things that I believe that the township can take action on. So the first thing I want to talk about is transparency, and we believe that information and transparency are the cornerstones of a functioning representative government, and I'm sure all of you agree. That's why you took these roles to sit up here tonight. And we are calling on you to disclose additional information about these data center site or sites, the two out there, the one infrastructure site and the main million-square-foot site. This information is fragmented, and we don't believe the community should have to rely solely on trying to piece together information from various meetings over a period of time through the RTK process. We need proactive community engagement that is crucial to delivering accurate information about energy use, about water use, about noise, and more. And we also urge the board to ban non-disclosure agreements. We want you also to dissolve the current NDA with Amazon or Northpoint on this site. Now, we believe the NDAs fundamentally undermine public trust. We need to prevent future NDAs. There is legislation going through the General Assembly right now, and we need the Falls Township to act here locally as well. There is also precedent for getting rid of the local NDAs. Under public pressure, Microsoft recently announced its decision to end NDAs with local authorities. And so we're asking you to start these conversations with Amazon and or Northpoint to voluntarily dissolve this one and help restore public trust. We are also calling on you to strongly represent Falls Township in DEP permit discussions. Now, we know DEP is outside of your authority, right? What Amanda was talking about here is there's something called an Act 14 notice. This is the notice that the applicant must file with you 30 days ahead of filing a DEP permit. What we're asking from you is start posting those online so we know when an application is coming, we can raise our concerns, and the state allows a process for you then to provide feedback to DEP about that site. That's going to restore some trust you can have in the community and let us really be involved in this process going forward. We also would like you and urge you to pass a municipal curative amendment. Right now, as I read through it, the zoning code does not define data centers. I think that that is one of the things. I don't want to talk about the past. I really want to look at going forward, right? It does not define data centers, and as you've seen across the state, there are a number of unique challenges with these that impact communities. By defining these, we are able to then have something in place going forward, right? So we need this 180-day pause so that permits coming, any future permits will need to go through this process. And then finally, we believe that the board must adopt ordinances to protect our community's environment. The first step is that zoning code. I think you've got two options here. You might explore both of them. One of them
is to limit the zoning for data centers to only 600 Ben Fairless and 700 Southport, since those are the two sites, to give community the confidence that these sites aren't going to expand beyond where they are. And the second thing is to adopt robust ordinances that protect the community. There are resources through Bucks County, through Penn Future, that all talk about things that local municipalities can put in place to help protect their communities. And the second recommendation we have here is to adopt a new noise ordinance that take effect at all residential property lines. The zoning hearing board granted a variance for these two sites on the noise restrictions, and I believe that that gives the municipality very limited ability to enforce any sort of noise issues that do extend beyond the Keystone Trade site. So I believe that the attorney for North Point actually stood here and said that their concern was the noise levels at the property line because it was in the middle of an industrial site. And he also pointed to the fact that it's not typical that the noise requirements are within the zoning ordinance. Let's adopt a general ordinance that talks about noise restriction at residential property lines and gives the municipality a tool to be able to enforce any violations. So I hope that you see that these are reasonable asks. We're asking you to only do what's within your power here. Trust me, most of the people, if not all, do not want the data center at all. If you can stop it, great. But I myself, in doing the research and talking to experts, see limited tools for the township at this far along. So I hope that you see these are reasonable asks made so that this board can take concrete actions to protect our communities, our children, and our future. I appreciate your time tonight, and I look forward to continuing this conversation and to support you in doing the right thing.
Thank you. Next name is Ruby Misawick. Thank you. I thought it was a G.
Well, again, thank you. I'm just everybody on the board there. I have a concern. I have lived on Mill Creek Road since 1969, and I've seen many transformations. We've had farm fields, sand and gravel pits, vacant lots, the Falls Township Community Park with the soccer fields, children's playground, skateboarding area, baseball fields, volleyball nets, picnic areas, and pavilions, and so on. Previously, years, tractor trailers used to have to, and commercial vehicles used to have to be directed on to old Route 13 or Bristol Pike. Due to vehicular and pedestrian accidents, the ramp going southbound on Old Route 13 near the Courier Times building was closed down. Commercial vehicles used to use the Bucks County Courier Times building as a parking lot. There was too many accidents. There is a sign that's posted about 15/10 of a mile, 800 feet, stating that no tractor trailer commercial vehicles can use Mill Creek Road. The Mill Creek Road is a residential road and for local deliveries only. These commercial vehicles need to go to the next available road, which is Penn Valley Road. I don't know why they're allowed to go down this road, Mill Creek. Then a lot further past this sign, another parking lot was built for commercial vehicles. Okay, that's not a problem, except when these large, noisy tractor and trailers come out of this lot, they can't see that sign. So they go directly onto Mill Creek Road, the residential area. They travel at all times of the day and night, into the wee hours of the morning, midnight, hourly, every 15 minutes. I had a record of it. I got tired of doing it because there's too many of them. They're very noisy, especially when the trailers are empty. When the trailers are loaded, they are heavy and shake and rattle the entire residential structures along Mill Creek Road, and even some of the homes on the first street, which is that's the name of the street, which obviously is 1 block in from Mill Creek Road. Anything hanging on the walls either fall off or constantly have to be readjusted. They travel at a high speed, more than the 25 mile per hour posted limit. The Edward M. Beers USMC Bridge was just repaired in 2024 and dedicated between 2024 and 2025. I don't know if there's a weight limit for this, but that bridge goes over a canal, so I'm not sure if it can handle all the weight. This is a heavily traveled road with the Falls Township Community Park, and thankful that there are activities held for the public, but pedestrians, bikers, and cars have to be overly aware of vehicles because there are so many speedsters, including the commercial vehicles. The constant commercial traffic is tearing up Mill Creek Road repeatedly. There's pothole repairs. They don't last for any length of time. The road has so many uneven patches. So when they manage to stay intact, there's so many bumps and noises, and it just shakes the whole house. I don't know if the township can enforce the speed limit, but it would be nice, because 25 is reasonable, even if these trucks don't get diverted to Penn Valley Road. It's something that I think we'd be able to deal with, but it's very busy. I worry about accidents and would like to be able to get some sleep without being constantly awakened by the constant rumbling of loud traffic and possible accident onto or into my property, my home. This has happened many years ago when an oil truck was traveling on the road. It did a 180 and the headlights was facing into my neighbor's home. So it's a bit scary. This makes it dangerous for anyone to, I wanted to mention the canal path too. It makes it dangerous for people to walk or jog on it because there's no respect for people. People just travel on that, and you really have to be careful that you're knocked over into the canal or on the on the other side into the woods. We become targets, and again, personal injury. And as you can see, I am the way I am because in 2007, I was hit by a tractor trailer. Now, age has played a part in this, but because of this accident, my quality of life and my lifestyle has changed a lot. And I would really hate to see anyone else have to suffer what I've been through. I'm asking the township if they can redirect the commercial traffic or at least enforce the speed limit for all, because it's not just tractor trailers, it's everybody. And I hate to say, sometimes our Falls Township police officers drive a high rate of speed like everybody else does. We get into a bad habit. So I appreciate it, and I am just a concerned taxpayer. Thank you.
If you could do me a favor, can you leave Mr. Shepard your phone number or email address?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next name on the list is Nicole Paskey. Paskey, I'm sorry.
I'm here for an agenda item, so if you'd like.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And I assume Margaret's the same?
Yes.
John Tadlock? Where did that come from? You just state your name and address for
Sure.
record.
John Tadlock, 21 Timothy Lane. I'm a 65-plus year resident of Falls Township, so I've been here a while. And I'm probably one of the few people in this room that really doesn't have a strong opinion about data centers, one way or the other. So it's likely that everyone on both sides of this issue will be angry with me when I'm done with my comments. First, the Board of Supervisors. The lack of transparency regarding data centers is a troubling concern. Many meetings were dedicated to North Point, the new warehouses, but in a single meeting, there was a shift from warehouse to data center. I hope that the minimum threshold for notification of this change was met, because if someone hires an attorney to look into this, I wonder if all the sunshine laws were followed as far as notification. The fact that you signed an NDA with a private corporation was a great disservice to the residents whom you were elected to represent. When it was questioned, one of the attorneys, and I don't remember which one, stated that, well, people could still file RTKs. But it's kind of a ridiculous statement, because how do you file an RTK if you're in the dark about what the subject matter is? You know, how do you base that? Now, for most of the people that are in this room, most of the other people, I just wonder, have you taken the time to go out there and look at it? Yes. Good, because I think a lot of people have not. And I've gone out there. In fact, I was out there yesterday. It's really something to see. As someone alluded to earlier, it's really kind of a done deal. It's more than 50% complete. Tens of millions of dollars have been already spent, and Amazon's not going to just walk away. They're spending huge sums of money because they're going to make huge sums of money. Because we use data centers every day, and I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true. Whether it's a smartphone or a smartwatch or a Ring camera, kids playing video games, streaming movies and TVs, people watching cutesy TikTok videos, online banking, even Amazon itself. Data centers are used for law enforcement with license plate readers and body cam footage, and it's uploaded to the cloud. The Department of Defense uses data centers to keep the country safe. Once you recognize the need for data centers and accept that they need to be built somewhere, the question becomes where. If Mr. Clark is correct, local municipalities by law cannot exclude a legal business. I can think of no better place in Falls Township than a heavy industrial zoned parcel, 1,800 acres, a former brownfield site, has plenty of water, a working power generation plant is on site from the old steel mill, high tension wires and towers crisscrossing the property, and it's miles from residential areas. I would be more concerned that there are 3 more Amazon buildings in early stages of being constructed at North Point. I have no idea what they're destined to become, and even if I did, they could pull a quick switcheroo at the last minute. The people that are against the data center, I think your energy should be focused on those types of things, because I think this data center ship has sailed. Now, then there is the fact that Morrisville Municipal Authority just purchased 45 acres out at North Point. So Morrisville Borough's Municipal Authority has bought property in Falls Township to build a new water treatment facility. It's not a coincidence. Stay, to the people that are against this, stay vigilant and concentrate your efforts where you can actually have an impact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tony Batiste.
East is walking to the table. You don't need to give your address. You just need to indicate whether or not you're a resident or a non-resident.
Oh, I apologize.
You don't need to give your street address.
We know where you live.
Yeah, I know. Tony Batiste, resident, and there's still no clock, so I can't time my minutes.
You're not the first person to say that tonight. Mr. Galway wants art and clocks.
Anyhow, good evening. It does seem that there's some of the board and administration that feel because the old steel mill area and its surroundings are a brownfield, that's the perfect place to put industries and businesses there that you wouldn't want in your own backyard. These are businesses by their nature that endanger our water, earth, air, and our health and safety. And if you figure, polluted air blows and contaminated water flows, so that the 6-mile radius that encompasses the Falls Township, that is no longer necessarily a safe area. It's not just because the boundary for the business stops here that the contamination stops there too. It doesn't. It keeps moving. So I do have some ideas, and I want you to remember that we just passed an EIT for residents here, and it was a first for Falls Township. And I believe the fees that we have for waste management are also kind of a first. So to that end, these are some items that I would like to put on an agenda. All businesses out there in that steel mill area, and I'm going to say it's probably the MMA district and the heavy F1 district or whatever it is. And I don't have my phone tonight because it's on the charger, so I don't have the exact info on that. But all businesses that are out there that are more than an acre pay a yearly fee of $10,000 per acre per year for a township resident safety and health fund, so that if there is contamination, if people get cancer from it, if people get lung issues, things like that, they have some place to help out. I think that's something that we should be looking at, the safety of our residents. Number 2, all businesses of more than an acre pay a one-time escrow fee of $100,000 per acre to help cover any environmental issues that occur as a result of their business. And 3, prior to the sale of any property in this area, a study of the land and water will be made for contamination. If the property needs to be remediated prior to the sale, that'll be done at the owner's expense. A business that becomes defunct or abandoned because maybe they're in the coast and their 15 years ran out and now they don't want to pay taxes and they just kind of disappear, that the owners of that property also are responsible for the remediation, and we can track them down. And as far as the data center concerned, some of these data centers are not what they were. They are now hyper data centers. Some are data mining. Some are AI training centers. And some of those last couple use extremely large amounts of water and electricity. And yes, the steel mill had all that stuff out there. They had electric lines, they had water discharge lines and everything. But how old are they? They've been gone since I've been here. So that's since '78. How old are these systems? I would worry about that. And I'm also going to request that when these things go into action, that we have a reputable environmental attorney review them to make sure we've dotted our I's, crossed our T's, and haven't left any loopholes. And somebody who's not associated with our current attorneys so that there's no possibility or at least appearance of any kind of collusion. Because right now, some of the township actions do not appear to be above board. So, the bottom line is, in all our ads that we put in the paper for changes, we put for the safety, health, and welfare of our residents. So I think it's time to put that in action.
Thank you. Next name on the list is Michelle Earhart.
Not sure. Hello.
Hi.
This is the first I've ever spoken at a meeting. My name is Michelle Earhart. I live in Thornridge in Falls Township. Lived here for 20 years. And I'm here today regarding the data center issues. I'm in support of the people who have spoken before me, who know far more than I do about legal actions, environmental, and this issue in general. But I support everything that's been mentioned today about it. My greatest concern is, number one, that it seems like there was a lot of underhanded information and that happened that allowed this to happen. You put out the newsletter that I got today, the Falls Focus. There's plenty of things that go out to people, and the first that I heard about data centers coming to my community were through an article that I saw online in the news section. And then I started with the emails on Facebook. So I'm hoping that there's other ways to get information out that are more reliable. And I'm disappointed in my local government for allowing that to happen. My concerns are the environment. My concerns are expenses that will go up for me and local community members related to water use, electricity use. In terms of the environment, I've lived in Levittown mostly all my life. I'm from this area, lived in Falls Township for 20 years. I love the historic history in this area. I'm a volunteer at Penswood Manor. I can't believe that that instead of eradicating what's happened at the steel mill site, that they're putting more businesses that could harm our community more, and that it's right next to a beautiful historic site in Pensbury Manor, and also that it's in an area where we have a recreational facility in Penn Warner Park. Those are all lovely areas that could definitely be impacted by this kind of a business, and that concerns me greatly. So, I'm in favor of whatever actions will slow it down and prevent it from being harming our community in any way. Health-wise, energy-wise, pricing-wise, it's already so expensive to live here. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm just your everyday citizen, and I'm hoping that all of you will remember who you're working for and whose welfare you're representing in this community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next name on the list is Yashassu Patel. I apologize if I butchered your first name.
I would like to start off by saying that I am not standing up here to shame you for your past mistakes, but you have a chance to fix your mistakes, which is very rare. And you keep saying your hands are tied, that you can't do anything, that this data center is already in the midst of being built. But how is it justice for us to not know that this data center was being built and for you to approve it and then say that your hands are tied on the matter? I'm calling for a halt to the construction of the data center and for a ban before it's too late. Data centers not only lower property value, strain the power grid, and cause water scarcity, but they also have been scientifically proven that the noise from them not only disrupt our sleep patterns, but also cause a decrease in learning and reading comprehension in children. The families of this town deserve better, and the children in our community deserve access to clean water, the ability to learn, and a good night's sleep. To end my statement, I would like to say a reminder from a well-known proverb. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish has been caught, and the last stream poisoned, will we realize we cannot eat money.
The next name on the list, it looks like Karen Luca, is that right? From Walton Drive? No one? All right. Marie Larson Brown is the next one then.
Hi, my name is Marie Larson Brown. I live in Fallsington off of Taylor Drive. I also own a business off Steel Road in Morrisville, so I am very close. Okay. Obviously, the data center's already been approved. It's there. We see the trucks going down every single day. If I go in on a Sunday, a Saturday, there's trucks. It's constant. So it's there. You guys already approved it. However, I do want to ask some questions and see if you guys have answers for it or if you could look into it. Data centers have already become a critical front line and targets in modern warfare. My fear is that these buildings are going to be targeted. And I mean, we could look at what just happened with the president. They're worried about drones coming in. The New York Knicks, drones coming in. Drones can come in from Jersey, from anywhere. I don't know if we are equipped enough to protect it. So my concern is, do we have an emergency plan in effect? If something happens to that building down there, is there something in effect for the people who are right there? There are tons of businesses off Steel Road, Progressive Drive, all those drives. It says it takes 3 miles to get from my building to there, but if you take out the roads, it's 1 mile. So I'm within all of the ranges that they say that are very harmful for you. My other concern is our township equipped, is our firefighting department equipped? If something happens to that building, that's 200 million square feet. Yeah, well, 200 million square feet altogether. If something happens and we have to send all of our fire departments there, and then there's a fire in Thornridge or Vermilion Hills or something, is there a plan in effect to make sure that the residents here are also protected? Do we have the equipment for our fighters, the men and women? There's certain chemicals that are coming out of that when it's on fire. Are they going to be protected if they have to go in? Do they know they can't really go in right away? There's a lot of fire departments, and there hasn't been that many data center fires, thank God. But there are cautions that the firemen and women will need to take before entering that building. So that's a worry for me, is our police department if something happens down there. I mean, if we send all Falls Township down there, what about the residents? Is there enough manpower for this? It's huge. The building down there is huge. It'll blow your mind. I can't even imagine. I know they say it's going to bring all these jobs. I call bullshit on that because.
You know the curse. We're not going to be cursing,
sorry.
right?
Okay.
You can keep going, but we're not cursing.
I call BS on
Okay.
that because
What's that?
you can.
That's fine, but we're not going to be cursing. We're not going to be
Sorry.
cursing, or we can cut the whole thing off.
Sorry.
Keep going.
We know it's really not. You got lots of jobs right now coming in with all the truck drivers and all the construction, but as soon as that's done, the jobs are gone. There's not many people that'll be working there.
They have been working 24 hours right now. You have people in
Yeah,
down there.
I know. So my worry is that the township and the people here, is there enough resources for us? And if there's not, can Amazon provide to help so we're not, I know we don't have all this money to just give everything away to people, but can Amazon help if we need more resources for our firefighter men and women? If the police department needs certain things for that, can we just look into that? Is there an emergency plan in effect before something happens and not after? That's kind of what I want. I want to know that there's an emergency plan in effect that'll go out if something happens. I'm a mile away. Am I going to be notified right away if something happens? I mean, I'm sure I'll hear it, but the residents here deserve to know that there's an emergency plan if something happens before it happens, that you guys are prepared, that the firefighters are prepared and the police department is prepared. So that's it.
Thank you. The next name on the list is Seema Kazmi.
For the, answer her questions. Okay, let's do that.
Seema Kazmi?
Yeah, I'm here for the disability pride.
Oh. Nicole Mitchell? No. Seema Kazmi again. Wayne Bell? That's applause. There's always a first, he said.
You were very darling there, Mr. Clark. I found this on my way coming here. Okay? So I just want you to know I'm only going to speak for a short period of time.
Really?
I have Tourette's, and I also have ADHD, So if I say something, please don't hit the gavel, because I have a gavel, and I will hit it back. Seriously. I'm serious. Hello, everybody. I am Wayne Bell, a.k.a. the Watermelon Man. I am here to address a profound failure of transparency and environmental stewardship in Falls Township. You allowed a corporate bait and switch, swapping 10,000 jobs for just 125 ghost town tech positions. State law automatically transferred our KOIZ concessions to Amazon, even though this data center isn't bringing its own power or its own water, and it is not cleaning up our township. No water, no life, protect our supply, Dr. Dents. Worse yet, you systematically stripped away our environmental defenses. You dissolved our independent Shade Tree Commission, clearing the runway for millions of square feet of clear cutting on legacy site known to house toxic hazards and forever chemicals, PFAS. Look at your new township logo, a single building, everyone loves it, but they miss it as a psychological operation, an alarm bell. Inspiration from the area's rich colonial roots incorporates the front of Pennsbury Manor, but replacing the original woods of Penns, Pennsylvania with brick and concrete. Falls Township new brutalistic exterior proves that land development is now deeply rooted where colonial trees once stood, signaling that Pennsylvania Penn's wood is being strategically replaced through 30-day windows of sweetheart deals fast-tracked by Capo Shapiro, my man right here. I love him. Cabal Capo Shapiro stands for corporate interests over Falls Township for 600 jobs. Look at the anti-Semitic urban outshitters corp warehouse deal. That's what you all need to be looking at, urban outshitters and what's going on there.
Stop.
Fast track at the state level, it is now sitting in our subcommittee meetings asking for waivers and concessions, threatening to encroach directly on Martins Creek. Just one exit up from Route 13 from millions of local and grant dollars spent to fix the flooding at Mill Creek. Cool the data, kill the community. Cool the data, kill the community. We're going to say it louder and louder so you understand we're going to kill ourselves. Because of how current township laws are written, you fast-track this data center flip in a single phrase. Distribution campus to digital campus. That's what a phrase that you need to be looking at. And another sweetheart deal, you'll probably flip the urban outshitters warehouse to digital center in one single sentence 5 years from now. Just like you did with Amazon. Every 100-word prompt drinks a bottle of water. We cannot drink data. No water, no life, protect our supply. Follow West Rock Hill Township, enforce 50 decibels noise limits, mandate tree buffers, and strip data centers from warehouse zoning. I demand action on the following points. Rewrite Falls Township land use ordinances to explicitly strip data centers from warehouse zoning, stopping properties like the Pennsbury buildings from flipping to digital infrastructure. It has a high propensity to do that right now. 225 square foot buildings will equal 250 megawatt of data center. So you need to be careful of what's going on here, how people flip things. There's a little bit more money to build that Pennsbury High School and get the kids to go do everything at home and turn the Pennsbury 50-foot building, 500 square feet, half the size of the Amazon site. Be creative. They're going to get the kids out and put the data there. Revisit all utility concessions, enforce strict 50 decibel noise limits, and mandate massive tree buffers for any current or future tech bills. Reverse the dissolution of our environmental protections and restore the Independent Shade Tree Commission. Please. I have my license. I am a tree tender. I belong on that board.
Got 10 seconds.
Stop passing the buck. Stop hiding behind corporate NDAs and start protecting the families of Falls Township. Thank you.
All right. We have one more name on the list, Jen Metzger. You're on the clock. This is. Yeah. You're good.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I want to thank everyone for coming out and putting their effort in, really doing all the research and trying to figure everything out. I think there's a lot of questions on both sides. And so I'm hoping that everybody's seeing here that there really are a number of things that the Falls Township Board can do and a number of things they might not be able to do for the current Amazon warehouse. Going forward, though, we are asking if we can try to update the ordinances. So I did prepare a list of items that we're hoping that you'll look at. We'll get you those so that we can make sure we add everyone's. Here tonight, really, regarding your decision-making and the buried ordinances regarding the Shade Tree Commission, future warehouses, and data centers. You intentionally degraded local environmental oversight by passing an ordinance merging our standalone Shade Tree Commission into the Environmental Advisory Council. This is a dangerous judicial downgrade. A Shade Tree Commission holds exclusive statutory land use protections, whereas an Environmental Advisory Council has zero decision-making authority. You stripped away our regulatory teeth right when oversized corporate developers are hammering our community and the Urban Outfitters warehouse is asking to actively encroach on Martins Creek, a stream that this township's already spent millions of dollars defending between 21 and 25. We just received another $840,000 state grant to protect that location. If you fold anything, you would fold EAC into the commission. Bring back our standalone Shade Tree Commission with its full regulatory teeth. We need it now. We were promised 10,000 family-sustaining logistical jobs at the old U.S. Steel site for a 15-year KOIZ tax exemption. Instead, on a hidden March 24th, 2025 agenda item, you obliterated the Sunshine Law and quietly flipped the site to a massive Amazon AI data infrastructure center campus under secret NDAs. It looks like you took an NDA from our solicitor, slid it across the table, and signed away our future. If you feel set up right now, taking the brunt of all of our fury and fears, how do you think we feel swallowing your excuses while we're paying the bill for Amazon? Earth only has 3% fresh water. Under 0.5% is drinkable. Yet this Amazon campus consumes 5 million gallons daily, based on what we can see from other data centers. The footprint of 50,000 Levittown homes. Because you failed to require closed-loop cooling, 80% evaporates into thin air. The rest is superheated wastewater. You allowed zero local metering, zero monitoring, and zero billing. We are literally buying the utilities for a multi-trillion-dollar corporation while our own PJM grid bills skyrocket. 3,800 residents have signed this petition already. They're asking for a moratorium, which we can't do on what was done already. We understand you were set up, but we're asking you to fix the ordinances going forward so that these warehouses and Pennsbury doesn't just flip. State law does not stop you from fixing any of these ordinances. To protect us from Pennsbury school parcels from being the next quiet data center flips, we demand the board execute its direct authority and enforce multiple mandates. Some of the mandates that we're requesting: reinstate the standalone Shade Tree Commission with full statutory protections immediately. Enact an immediate 18-month data center moratorium to freeze new applications while we're having you rewrite ordinances to make sure you're protecting the community. Prohibit major land use changes through single sentence amendments requiring full conditional use hearings. Separate preliminary and final land use developments. Mandate 45 decibel nighttime noise caps, impose escalating $5,000 daily fines and immediate certificates of occupancy, revoking for any violations that are occurring, legally mandate closed loop liquid or dry air cooling systems, enforce mandatory on-site municipal water metering, and transparent billing for Amazon. Commission an independent audit of the KOIZ tax abatements to enforce clawback remedies for for 0 jobs. There are a number of bills that are in our Senate and our House right now for Pennsylvania alone that are trying to help manage the e-waste. And so, like I said, we're going to give you the actual printout of the different things that we think are under the township's control that we'd really appreciate help with. Thank you so much for listening to everybody, trying to work with everyone on this topic.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, everyone.
As it was stated earlier, there is a town hall meeting that will have DEP, Amazon will be there, PICA will be there. Hopefully, somebody from the governor's office will be there with a Q&A time. That's at Pennsbury High School, July 14th at 6 p.m. Our social, what? I'm not sure. That's not our meeting, but it's
How can non-residents who didn't get to speak with you?
You can send an email.
Just an email.
Sure. We can. Where was I at? Oh, it will be advertised this week. Our PR person is back from vacation, so it'll be all over social media, and we'll get that out there, the date and everything else. So we're going to take a brief recess before we get into the agenda. Thank you. All right, thank you. We're going to call the meeting back to order. We're at item number 4, consideration of approval of a proclamation for Disability Pride Month.
Hello.
Please take your conversations out in the hall. The meeting is back. Please take your conversations out in the hall. The meeting is back in session.
Rich, can you shut those doors? All right, I'm going to read the proclamation first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Falls Township, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, a proclamation on Disability Pride Month. Whereas on July 26, 1990, President George Bush signed into law the American with Disabilities Act, which protected individuals from discrimination based on disability, and whereas, since the passage of the act, celebrations of disability pride have been held in July across the globe, commemorating its passage and affirming the important contributions, culture, and identity of people with disabilities. And whereas Falls Township is an inclusive community and believes that all people, regardless of ability, are deserving of dignity, equality of opportunity, full participation in social and economic life, and pride in who they are. Now therefore, the Board of Supervisors of the Township of Falls, County of Bucks, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, does hereby proclaim July 2026 to be Disability Pride Month in Falls Township. Proclaimed this 22nd day of June 2026. Thank you. Any questions from board members?
No.
None? Do we have to take action here?
Yes.
Is there a motion?
Yeah. You can approve it if you'd like to.
I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Comment.
Public comment? Is that why you're here?
Yeah, I'm a member of the Falls Township Disabled Persons Advisory Board. Hi, I'm Seema Casby, member of the Falls Township Disabled Persons Advisory Board. Thank you, Falls Township Supervisors, for recognizing Disability Pride Month. There were some items I wanted to share. This past March, we had a presentation about home accommodations for amputees. There is current considerations being done that can impact, at the federal level, funding for community-based living for individuals with disabilities. And the reason I'm sharing this is this can impact Falls Township residents who have disabilities to be able to live in their homes. So that's one concern. The second concern I wanted to share is a lot of these community-based waivers are funded by Medicaid. And with those also anticipated impacts in funding, that will also impact Falls Township residents with disabilities to also be able to live safely in their homes. So this presentation was done at our March meeting, and specifically titled, I think you guys were sent, emailed a copy of it. I'm not sure. I had asked Jane to send it to you guys. I don't know if you got it or not. But it basically goes over various types of home accommodations for people with disabilities, and also nonprofits that support people with disabilities who live in their homes. So wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of these issues that could be impacting our community. There's much actually in the news about certain memos being circulated, again, commenting on people with disabilities providing home accommodations and whether or not they can be provided resources to live safely in their homes as well as in the community. So just wanted to make sure you guys are aware. But I think I did, not me personally, but there was a presentation done in March. I'm not sure if you guys received a copy of it, specifically for home accommodations for individuals who are amputees.
I don't recall seeing it.
You don't recall seeing it?
Are you able to get a hold of our social media and put together some kind of informational bullet that we can put out on social media with your committee?
About?
Exactly what you're talking about, so that residents can see it on our page.
So I guess, like, like a resource page or?
You're gonna have to work that out.
Okay, so I can.
What information you want to get out there, some kind of a you know.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Teresa over there does our
Teresa.
social media.
Okay,
So you can give her your card.
okay. Again, thank you for
Thank you.
recognizing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other hands for public comment? Thank you, Seema. There's a motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're going to skip item 5 and go right to number 6 now.
Why?
I was only kidding.
Oh.
Item 5 is consideration of approval of appointment of the AUBREY Group LLC. AUBREY Group is going to handle our consulting services. Do you want to go over with this,
Yeah.
Mr. Shepherd?
They're gonna assist us with grant writing and also possibly with some more concentrated fundraising efforts for the township. So we have an agreement, suggested agreement with them, and that I would just say that if the Board of Supervisors is comfortable with making the appointment, it would be subject to final agreement to the contract format by the solicitor. I think we have like one outstanding item. It's just we're a little bit late on getting that addressed, so I don't anticipate any problems with that, and we're looking forward to, from a staff perspective, working with them.
All right, this is good for us. I mean, it's exciting that we're going to handle this locally now. Are there any other comments or questions from board members?
No.
None?
No.
Any public comment needed? No hands. Is there a motion to appoint the AUBREY Group?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 6, consideration of approval of change order 42 for RYCON Construction Incorporated.
Yeah, so this is maybe the final change order we'll have for the building. It'll be exciting if that's the case. This one is related to additional fencing that was approved back near the Public Works building, near our gas station, and also for some topsoil that needed imported into the site, which we were aware of probably for a while. We needed to get topsoil. The good news is the amount of topsoil was probably about half of what we anticipated from a cost standpoint, so this change order ultimately is for $25,080.43.
Any questions from board members?
No.
No.
Any public comment? I wouldn't hold my breath if you were anticipating this being the last change order we ever received. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Shepherd, can you pull the board?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
Yes. And I apologize, that wasn't a shot at you. I hope it didn't come off as one. At the rate this has been going with change orders.
I hope I'm the one that's right.
I do too. This is item number 7, consideration of approval of indemnification and hold harmless agreement with Metals USA Plates and Shapes Incorporated. Is, Mr. Clark, you want to take this?
Bless you.
The board has seen similar agreements like this several times in the past several years. This is a business that is waiting on some additional permitting, and they want to get started on their site work for the development. What we do in these instances, we allow them to get started. They have all their approvals from us. They're not waiting on any approvals from us. They may be waiting on an approval from PennDOT or from the sewer or the water authority. So what we do is we enter into these agreements. It allows them to get started on the project, but in the event they don't get all of their approvals and they can't finish the project or they can't operate, they are doing this completely at their own risk, and they in no way can hold the township responsible. Every time we have done one of these over the past 4 or 5 years, and Mr. Jones will correct me if I'm wrong, everything has been approved and the projects have been completed to the township's satisfaction.
Okay, any questions from board members?
No.
No.
Any public comment needed? See no hands, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to item number 8, consideration of approval of traffic calming measures on Thornridge Drive. I know this has been a painfully long wait for you to get this finally done, but it's actually in front of us right now. You've seen these recommendations, I assume? Do you want to come up or no? Somebody?
And Jeff, so you're aware we do have Derek Kennedy here tonight. He's the traffic engineer that prepared the recommendations, was on site, and he can certainly go over his recommendations and any questions anybody from the audience might have or the board.
All right, do you want to join her and go over your recommendations? There's a microphone underneath if you wanted to use it, if it's easier.
There's one on top also.
If this
Oh, I'm
works.
sorry, there's one on top also.
It's sitting on top.
Yeah, so for the record, Derek Kennedy with Remington Roanoke Engineers, with the Township Traffic Engineer. We were asked to look at a section of Thornridge Drive. Came out of complaints of crashes, speeding, and it's a section, about a half-mile section. I'll call it the western edge of the neighborhood, right? Thornridge Drive loops around. It's a longer section than what we studied, but this was just kind of the western half-mile section. And we looked at crash data, we looked at speed data, and we're trying to develop, I would say, low-cost, effective mitigation measures for speeding or crashes. So we came up with a series of improvements. And I will say there are recommendations in this report. I mean, it's not a kind of a handoff to a contractor ready to build. So but it's conceptual and simple improvements though. So it's not far from where they could be implemented. And we developed a series of improvements. So what's in there are what we call bump outs, right? Narrowing the roadway at intersections. A lot of times you see it done with decorative curbing and brick. In this case, we're doing it with striping and what we call raised delineators, right? They're those tubular markers you might see on lane lines to keep people where they need to be. So that would just be, a narrowing at a couple of the intersections using the delineators and markings. We're proposing an always stop sign at one of the intersections on this stretch at T-Berry.
A four-way stop at T-Berry.
Yes, three-way.
Three-way, I'm sorry.
I think it's three-way.
Yep, and then the last recommendation that is in our concept plan are two proposed speed humps, one on the southern end and one on the northern end where you have a longer straightaway. I will say that all of those recommendations could be things that could be put in relatively low cost, temporary trial basis, right? I know, especially with speed humps, they could be controversial. I know Fire Marshal has concerns about them as well. I talked to the manager about, how do we implement them, or maybe there are certain criteria we look at as to when and where. But we do have those in there as a recommendation for this corridor.
So let's talk about the bump outs, exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah, so there's two intersections, right? So we at the southern end, so you come in from the south of Penn Valley at Tanglewood Avenue, and then do you have the packets, the full sheets?
They do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the back ones, they were meant to be 11 by 17, so it might be a little bit tough.
Yeah, I think one of ours cut off.
Yeah, so you don't have, like, it would be sheet 2 of 6, the larger, you probably don't have this.
I don't have that.
No, yeah, that
cut
got
off.
Yeah.
Okay. We do have.
Would you like to see what I'm talking about here?
Can we get a copy? Or
Yeah, they can have this, right? Is there any reason?
Yes,
At the end,
absolutely.
fine.
So if you look at
Well, you want to see, visualize it.
page
You can see
11
this.
of what you have in front of you shows the proposed bump outs in a plan view. So it has the two intersections, so it's essentially a narrowing as you're approaching the intersection, restricting parking at those areas, right? And it's a visual effect for motorists coming up, so that narrowing of the roadway, should have, reduced speeds, eliminates, any erratic movements.
What'd you say about reduced speeds? What'd you just say?
So the concept of the bump outs, it's
Is to
a
reduce
road
speeds.
narrowing,
Okay.
so it's a
It's
visual.
force people to, instead of
Yeah.
just cutting a hard
I
corner,
thought
it's
he was
going to
saying
force
about
people
the
to
speed limit.
slow down and turn.
Yeah, so statistics show that as vehicles approach, as the road narrows, they typically will slow down. There's not a lot of pedestrians out there, but it also helps give areas for pedestrian
Like
refuge,
empty 'cause
lowers
it's dangerous.
lowers the crossing width for pedestrians. So on page 11, like I said, is a plan view of what the bump outs would look like. Page 10 has a photo sample of what they typically look like using the raised delineators.
That's just an example, obviously.
Right. Yeah, so there's, that sample has a planter in there. We're not proposing to put any.
Will the tubes be will they be
landscaping or
permanent?
anything like that. I'm sorry.
Will the tubes be permanent? Or are they gonna be like what's in the picture here with just a rubber base on them?
No, they're meant to be permanent.
Okay.
Mr. Kennedy, can you speak up a little bit, please?
Yeah, sure. I
All
can
right.
use this one if that's better, if it's on, I believe it is. Yeah, so the raised delineators, the tubular markers are meant to be permanent.
Okay.
Any questions?
Well, that's not the area we were concerned about at all. That's Tanglewood and Thornridge Drive, and we're
So-
worried about down the street.
Right, so where you are, so at Tanglewood is where there's bump outs, but also at
Twin Leaf.
Twin Leaf would be the same treatment, the bump outs. And then at T-Berry, we would do an always stop.
So, okay. So what about, like, the curb going up to Finbark? Because that's really where people catch the speed coming down Thornridge Drive. And the stop sign at T-Berry, I know your survey had said that was where it was needed, but I know in one of my meetings that I spoke before, Mr. Dunn said stop signs make people speed up to get there and then speed away to make up time.
That was
So
speed
that's-
bumps.
No, you had said stop signs, because we talked about initially stop signs were like our biggest concern, which since you've said that, I've kind of been like, you're right, because you see people speeding up to the stop signs, and then once you leave the stop sign, you try and catch up the lost time. And
Right.
that will directly be
Oh, you
in
have to use the
front of-
mic. I'm sorry.
That, okay.
Turn
I
this one on.
apologize.
There you go. That's on. And I'll give you this one here.
Okay,
Now you both have mics.
thank you.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
So my concern with the stop sign at T-Berry, I know that your survey had said that that was necessary, which if it is, then I guess so be it. But what I was saying was Mr. Dents in our initial meetings last year had said stop signs are not always the answer because cars are approaching the stop sign, are getting speed to get there, and then they're obviously annoyed they have to stop, so they're rolling through it and then making up their lost time speeding away. Which if this stop sign is approved for T-Berry, the lost speed and the catch-up speed is directly in front of our house, which is why we've raised the concern for almost a year now. So I just worry that that will cause more of an issue.
Right, well, our plan, so you're right that there's guidelines and warrants about where you would use the always stops. And when you use them inappropriately, it does create that, but that's when they're kind of in a series and you're stopping and going and stopping and going. So our plan purposely sort of mixes up the strategies, right? So we've got the speed humps in certain locations, and we've got the bump outs, we've got one multi-way stop, and then as you continue, so it's a variation of different applications and not the same, speed hump, speed hump, speed hump. It gets
Sure.
frustrating. We're at stop signs in every
So
location.
in your survey, did a stop sign warrant any, or, at the Finbark
No.
up the street?
So
Because coming
There-
up around the drive, it is blind, it is completely blind.
right, so there's different types of warrants. There's
Okay.
volume-based warrants, and based on the volume out there, essentially none of those intersections meet the warrants for volume-based always stop. The reason we did it at T-Berry, it was two reasons. One was sight distance, right? Pulling out from the side street, looking left into the curve, it's very tough to see oncoming traffic. And then in the opposite direction, there's a straightaway where it's one of the locations in the area coming southbound.
Yes.
Where you're outside the curve, you're coming into the curve, and that's one of the sections where our vehicle has the ability to gain speed coming into the curve. So they would stop prior to entering the curve. So that was the reason why we did the multi-way stop, primarily at T-Berry and only at T-Berry and not the other locations, and then different applications at the other locations.
How far away is T-Berry from Finbark?
It's the next
Two
street, two
streets.
streets.
It's
Right.
it's T-Berry, Twin Leaf, Finbark. Is it Finbark? It's Finbark.
Yeah, but I mean, the site distance coming up
Yeah.
to Park is the exact same as T-Berry.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you measured that. I saw you measuring it that day.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can hear somebody.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come up and use the mic. I'm sorry.
I wish we had these prior, so we didn't have to.
Yeah,
well, it was supposed to be collaborative, but.
If you,
That's fine.
it still is, it still is.
Okay.
If you excuse me for 1 second, I'm only pulling up my phone for a map.
That's what I'm doing, the same thing.
Okay.
I'm not.
Can I see this?
So I'm just wondering.
It's right here. It's right, it is, yeah.
Thin bark.
That's Thin Bark, Twin Leaf, T-Berry.
Mhm.
This is where you're gonna put the stop sign. Our house is right here.
Yeah.
Right on this corner.
And right here is the same sight distance as there.
Yeah, it's
If
literally
you go
the
out
same.
and look at it
Actually,
again.
it's worse.
It's
here.
worse, yeah.
And this is where they're catching the speed coming down from this curb.
So I'm wondering if you.
Sorry, if
Yeah.
you, just give us 1
Uh-huh.
second so that I can orient myself.
We're not talking about Twin Leaf, we're talking about Thin Bark.
Yeah, but Twin Leaf is also where they want bump outs here.
The bump outs are easy.
So bump outs at Twin Leaf, right after a four-way stop though, that should help.
Say that- I'm sorry, could you say that again?
A four-way or three-way stop at, sorry. Oh, one more.
Finbark?
Where's Tanglewood?
Tanglewood's coming off of Penn Valley Road. It's the very first on your right.
It's like the main drive down. Connects the
Yeah.
drives.
It is.
It connects the two drives.
Oh, it connects the two drives.
It's the first street off of Penn Valley.
If here did.
So the question was why Thin Bark didn't meet and part of it is we didn't want to have the same application throughout. Or we wanted to use different speed control applications, so you weren't seeing stop sign after stop sign or speed hump after speed hump. So we purposely mixed it up. Before Thin Bark, there is a proposed speed hump as they're coming in between the two curves.
With the speed humps, from what I understand going to the traffic board meetings, is that there's these, they're kind of spread out. They're like speed bump. It's not one long one like it used to be, like in a parking lot or whatever. So my worry with that is, I work in Philly, they have these all over in Philly, and people can ride right between the speed humps and miss them completely. So with the speed bumps where he's saying it's going to swerve people into the left side of the road or right side coming back down. So I don't think that that's going to work. I think that's going to cause,
The speed humps.
in the position he's saying, which is.
I don't think the speed humps are on our radar. I don't think that's something that we're considering.
Okay, he had
Right.
said it in his
We're looking
proposal.
at
so
the
I'm
bump
not-
outs and the stop sign and lane marking possibly, correct? Was that on your list there?
Correct. We looked at lane marking. Lane marking is tough. One of the recommendations was possibly center line striping with nighttime reflectors. The curb-to-curb width on Thornridge is a dimension where it's tough because you have parking on both sides. So in an area
It's
where.
too narrow.
And if you put that center lane, Craig, it gets restrictive and you don't
But
have
that's
enough
the issue.
lanes.
That's why we need the lines in the middle. I see it every day. I know my word means nothing, but.
It does.
But those lines will help. The reflectors will help. A lot of cars are being parked at night. People are back from work. So a lot more cars, so the middle lines will help people stay. I do
See,
agree the bump outs will work as
The
well.
only place we can be required to do the center lanes is where we don't have parking on both sides. If you have two vehicles parked on each curb line, the space that's left in the middle is too narrow to have a defined
But then,
traffic lane.
then,
So then vehicles would constantly have to travel on the opposite side of
but
the
then it's a
diagonal line
one-way
physically.
street. Then it's a one-way
Well-
street. Because if this is the direct issue we've had. Two cars cannot fit between when there are parked cars on the street. This is why my family was almost killed in front of my face, because cars fly down, there's not enough room, there's too many cars on the road, and there's, like you're saying, there's no delineators, there's no lines in the middle, there's no reflectors, there's no speed traps, there's no signage, there's nothing. So when you're telling me, I understand you did the survey, I appreciate everybody coming out and, kind of fell through the cracks for a while, but here we are. The stop sign at T-Berry is needed, but the stop sign at Thimbark also is needed. If you look at the map, you can see humps like a camel. They are exactly the same curbs. Maybe even between Twin Leaf and T-Berry is a smaller sight distance vision than the one on Thimbark. When Officer Finelli came out and Mr. Shepard came out, and I'm so sorry, I forget your name, Josh? Derek, I thought it was Josh, I'm sorry. When you came out and we talked about this, you guys couldn't put a speed trap or whatever you want to call it, like, when you have the visual speed, how fast you're going, you couldn't even put it on the side of the issue, which was our side of the drive, because there aren't any poles. So you collected data from the other side that is not our specific issue. Yes, people come down that road flying, they're coming around these curbs, but the bigger issue is people coming down who don't see these other guys coming.
You're saying for this specific report, they didn't collect data from
Not from both sides, from one side.
Well, that device collected data. We had other speed data that the township
From
shared
years
with
ago,
us.
from years ago.
Derek, how current was the speed data?
Oh, I don't know exactly.
And
Barbara had it in
again,
here.
if I may speak.
It has to be one person at a time,
Okay.
so. But while he's looking for that, obviously what you say does matter. Like, this whole report is because you and your mom came
Right.
out. So I hope.
So my issue with where the speed signage is right now that was collecting the data, when people are coming down Thornridge Drive, they're flying down a straightaway from that direction. Once they see the curb ahead of them, because there you can see the curb coming, they slow down, and then the lights of the speed traps start. You're going 25 because they've already hit the brakes from going 40. So the speed, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I don't-
where
I
the
want-
radar was catching is not catching the speed, and it's also showing that they're going 25 around a bend, which is fast when there's other cars parked.
So, Mr. Kennedy, that makes sense to me. Is there a reason that you say it doesn't,
Well-
or?
Yeah, well, coming from that direction is part of the reason we have the proposed multi-way stop or all-way stop at
Right.
T-Berry. So
Right.
they're going to be required to stop for a stop sign.
So
as
that's
they're coming
coming
into that
from
curve.
T-Berry.
Right, so coming south.
And you're
At
worried
T-Berry.
now that people will speed up from the stop sign?
Correct. So people are gonna come, they're gonna see the stop sign, they're gonna make up speed and fly past my house. Then people who are coming down the hill, coming past, are going to speed up to the stop sign. So we're gonna have.
But let me ask, you just said that on the other side of your house, approaching something makes people slow down, and that's why we're not getting the speed data. So if there is a stop and then a natural slowdown, that does sound like it's going to help.
But when you're seeing your speed, you're like, oh geez, I better slow down, because it's flashing, it's blinking.
Oh, you're saying the device?
Yes, the device is showing people how fast they're, I'm sorry if that was unclear.
That's okay.
But, they're not looking at their speedometer as they're driving down Thornridge Drive at 40 miles an hour. When they see the flashing red, you're going this fast, and they're coming around the curb, you naturally step on the brake. So that speed monitoring device is showing a normal speed around a curb that they were shown to slow down. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
Mr. Kennedy, can you speak to, this is what you do, so I would like to know, I hear, kind of the conventional wisdom of like you slow down and then speed up from a stop sign. Is that something that really does happen?
It does. I guess the question is how fast is fast? If you're stopping to zero,
Right. Which nobody does.
speeding up to 25 between intersections is difficult, right?
Right.
You got to, so you're not going to get to 50 or 45. The data that we had for speed data showed that most people are driving at reasonable speeds. Average speed, we look at 85th percentile speed. Those speeds were below the posted speed limit, right?
Right.
So it's not to say there isn't issues, but they're outliers. There's a small percentage of people that are driving excessively fast. And it's not a situation where everyone is driving excessively fast. Like, it's not, we're not seeing 45 miles per hour continuously, and we're trying to get it down to 25. We're seeing speeds generally below 25 with the outliers that have been problematic. So
No, and I do agree with what he's saying. Like, even if people are speeding up, it's from at least a stop, whereas before, they were just racing through. So I do think that that could be helpful, this stop.
I mean, just from living there, I mean, this, like I said, but this house has been in my family for over 60 years. We've seen it all. That is, if there's not another one close by, or it's going to cause chaos. I mean, the thing is, the cars, you know, the horsepower on these cars, you are going and nobody stops completely at a stop sign for 3 seconds. Unless there's a cop car directly there. Nobody is going to do that. Just like they do on Beaumont, just like they do on every other street in Fairless Hills. They roll, what's that?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. They roll stop, and then they're going to hit the gas. So and then they're coming to this narrowing road. So
So you don't like the stop sign?
I just feel like a stop sign where it's going to be, and not another one, will cause some potential issues.
You're saying there should be one at Finbar.
I believe that there should be. I mean, if you're looking at the map, you can see the curves of both of those areas. It's extremely windy.
Are we justified putting one at Finbar?
It
Well,
didn't meet any of the criteria.
we'd have to look at
It doesn't mean anything.
site distance there. The reason we need to do it there is that that's an area where there's two curves on both ends of the intersection, where at T-Berry, you have the straightaway coming into that first curve. And I guess I will say, you know, stop signs are relatively cheap. These can be done on a trial basis. It wouldn't be.
So we can put them up.
Well, we need an ordinance to do that, right? So the board has to authorize it. We certainly don't want to do one if it's not meeting the criteria. So I would recommend, I know the board has some concerns with the speed humps, just until maybe we get a policy in place that we're going to get requests all over the township. So maybe we want to have a policy in place so we know how to address those when we get those. In the interim, I would recommend that you could authorize Derek to go back out and look at the adjoining intersection, which we've been talking about, see if it meets criteria. He can bring that back to you, and possibly we could do both stop signs rather than the speed humps. We can still do the delineators
What about
too.
the bump outs and stuff? That seems like a good idea.
I'm interested in the bump outs. I like the reflectors. I like the delineators. I like
Yeah.
the middle line. I think the middle line is probably one of the best ideas, which
the
is
middle,
like the most simple thing.
So the middle line, are you talking where the bump outs are going?
No, the double line, like in the middle of a road, like in the middle of Penn Valley Road, you see like a double yellow line.
Right, well,
That
yeah,
way
well, I
we-
hear what he's saying. It's a
Yeah,
lot
you're
wider
right.
out there.
The only place we could do the center line would be at the bump outs or other locations where we don't have parking potentially on both sides
Correct.
of the road. Because anywhere we have two cars parked, we'd be too narrow to have a defined lane in each direction.
Correct.
Well, during the traffic board meeting, the liaison that was there had measured it on his computer with cars parked, and he did say that the lines would be fine as far as the measurements
On the curb or the straightaway?
in the middle of the street, the two double lines in the middle of the street.
So,
with
Mr.
parked
Chairman, I
cars.
would recommend if the board, with the board's pleasure, Derek can look at that again. He's certainly qualified. He has all the measurements. He's been in the field, so I would maybe get just a confirmation on that. If it's doable, I'm sure the board would consider that. If it's not, then you'll at least know, he can explain to you the measurements and why it's not doable.
But then, does that leave us then with nothing, though, that we can
do
do
the
right
bump
now?
outs, right?
Not if the bump outs are going to just be replaced with a line.
Well, she's saying the bump outs and the line.
I think you could do the
Is that
bump
what they
outs
said?
and the line, if the
Okay.
line's doable, the center
Right.
line and with
Yeah.
the reflectors. I would recommend waiting 1 month. I'm sure Derek can have the analysis done at the intersection for the additional stop sign by our next meeting, and then I would authorize them both at the same time if that's what the board wants to
Is
do,
that okay
rather
with
than
you?
one at a time. I would do them both together.
Derek,
Or
do you
if it
think
doesn't meet criteria, you'll know.
Right. Do you think you could do that?
Yes, and then knowing if we're going to forego the bump outs, right, that changes it a little bit, because before, near, was it Thinberry, we had a speed hump.
I would not say forgo the bump outs. I would say the speed humps right now, at least from the board's perspective, I think is on hold. I'm not saying they would never do it. I'm just saying they probably want to make sure that the criteria they're using for Thornridge is the same they would use for any other street in the town where we get a request for it. So we probably need to get better criteria in place. And this might be great for that. But I think they just need to know, because more requests are going to come in. And obviously, as you know, doing this much more than I do, there are people that are for them and people that are against them, right? For various reasons, whether they're good or bad. You just get a lot of people that are for them. You get a lot of people on the other side of the fence too. So they want to make, I'm sure, good decisions, for the entire township and be consistent.
Mr. Chair, can we hear from the fire marshal on the speed bumps just while everyone's here?
Sure.
About
Speed bumps. Your thoughts on the
speed bumps,
speed
your
bumps.
thoughts.
Historically, the speed bumps slow down emergency access or emergency response. It's never been something we've been in favor of. We ran them as a test in the community park to see how quickly we could get over them. You have a 40,000-pound truck that you got to bring to a stop, take over. It just delays you when, seconds count. It's not just my opinion. I spoke to the fire chiefs in the township. I can speak for at least one of them that happens to cover Thornridge. He's of the same opinion as I am. I spoke to the rescue squad who happens to be here. They have the same opinion. It slows them down. Spoke to the school district. They're not a big proponent. They get a lot of complaints about the noise of buses going over and slowing them down. It's speed. It's time. That's all.
Another one where people are going to speed away from. They might slow down, and then you're going to have the idiot that's going to hit it doing 30 miles an hour in the middle of the night. And as I was mentioning earlier to someone, I said, 7 o'clock Saturday morning, the guy's not even going fast, but you're going to hear that guy with the landscaping trailer waking up the whole neighborhood because they're so noisy. I think there's going to, and I said this last time, and I know it was a sensitive subject, but when you look at the data of the past 5 years, 3 of the 4 accidents were drunk drivers. Like, no speed hump. I'm not saying they're all drunk drivers, I know, but nothing we do is going to stop a drunk driver. We saw just last week when a woman on Thornridge went down the hill, and that was under drunk DUI into somebody's living room. And thank God no one was killed. There was one just this week in Croydon. Somebody drove into someone's house. But I know we're talking about Thornridge, but I think you need to think long and hard about speed humps, and the negatives, I think, outweigh the
And I'm sensitive to their concerns. For the record, I grew up on Trenton Road. There's not a faster road, I don't think, in the township. Residential. I lived 16 years on South Olds on a bend that I worried about my daughter on the sidewalk. I did this, had the same concerns. And I live on Austin Drive. It's a 2-mile long, wide racetrack. But that's not everybody. I couldn't in good conscience say put speed bumps in front of my house because somebody's flying down the road. It's going to slow down the people that need to get to a place quickly.
I agree. I am not in favor of speed bumps. I think they're annoying. I think people are going to swerve to get away from them. I think they're loud, like you're saying. And I would not like speed bumps.
And can I'll just suggest one quick thing. I travel a lot to Maryland, and I know in Maryland, especially the beach towns, they do different things, the striping, the bump outs. The one thing that catches my eye every time are the stripes in the road because of the speed limit sign coming up, and also the flashing red and blue lights. You're coming down the road, and especially when it's dark, and those red lights start flashing, it looks like a police car. It's not. It's a speed, whatever you call them. The speed machines that flash red and blue.
Digital machines.
Yes. that grabs your attention. So just thoughts for other things that I know work down south.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
So what are we doing tonight?
I would recommend that Derek do a little more work. He knows the few things that the board wants him to look at. I think he can bring that back for the next meeting. We can put it on the agenda again at our July meeting and hopefully finalize it and move forward with some recommendations.
Okay.
Can you give us an extension if we're going to take into consideration your feedback?
Erin, do you have in front of you what the traffic committee recommendations were?
Not in front of me from the traffic committee. I only have the engineer's report in front of me.
The traffic committee, their recommendations were forwarded to Derek to include those as part of the report, so they were included.
Yeah, so
They was primarily
we
related
reviewed
to
a lot of.
striping.
Yes.
They wanted to
Right.
see any sort of striping that could assist on the roads, I believe.
We were told they were submitted directly to the board, as that's how the process, the chain of command is for this type of situation, not to then the engineer. It was supposed to be to you.
I'm not certain if they got it directly or not. But I honestly don't know. I remember it was two bullet points.
I did not.
I did not.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing it directly.
Is that, what were their 2 bullet points?
Well, the only reason I saw them is because I went to the last meeting, but it was, it's hard, because they wouldn't give us a copy, we couldn't get a copy from, all this, so it's hard to remember all of them, right? But I think the frustration is the lack of communication, and, if we weren't available to come here tonight and our concerns weren't spoken out on, this would have been approved.
Yeah.
So why are we not getting notified? We're the ones who are bringing this to light, and it does hit different when your kids are involved. I am a mama bear right now, and I'm getting, it's discouraging. So I'm all for giving an extension, but I think at some point, as with anything, there has to be some action. Where's the deadline? At first, it wasn't a financial strain. At first, we had the paint in the shed. Now we have the engineer. Now we have the speed. I mean, it's in August, this will be a year that I almost lost my 3 kids and my husband in front of my face. So, is it going to be the next meeting? Is he going to come out and do this in a timely manner? And are we going to be, coming in front of you again the next meeting?
Right.
Because this is becoming a part-time, full-time job, too. And emotions are high, so I don't want to continue speaking because of that, but I'm in favor of giving you more time to really come up with a plan. And with that being said, I'd like to read, if I could, what I wrote to speak tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff, if I could, just to answer Erin's question, because her question was, what were the recommendations for the Traffic Advisory Committee? Their 2 points were snowplow safe raised lane markers, which are being considered by Derek, and additional low-cost pavement marking treatments. Nothing specific. There's no specific treatment. It's just saying put something that's any pavement
It was the
marking.
centerline issue with
Yeah.
reflectors was
So
what we
you
looked
took
at.
those into consideration as for part of your
Right.
report.
And the information we have, we couldn't consistently stripe that the entire length of the corridor. Right?
Okay.
Because
What
of the width.
about limiting parking on that side? I mean, we have 100 neighbors who live across the street from us. They have at least 10 cars, no lie, parked on that side, and they park on our side. Can we
Don't-
limit parking? I mean,
He's looking at me because I have 9 cars in front of my house. Sorry. It's a
No,
big
but
family.
that is part of.
It's tough for, not for that specific neighbor, but all your neighbors. I mean, then it gets hard for everybody.
Yeah, I get that.
This is stuff, I was on the traffic committee, that was my baby when we first formed it. And there was a couple of different streets. One was Austin Drive, and we were going to stripe it and do that. And a bunch of neighbors came and said, no, absolutely not. We don't want you to change the look of our street. And we threw our hands up and we're like, well, what do you want us to do then?
Yeah.
You want us to do something about the speeding. The biggest problem is that our cops can't use radar. And
I know.
that's
I
the
said
biggest
that the
thing.
other day at the traffic board meeting. I'm like, if we could just use speed radar, the township would get so much
Would
money
make too much
because
sense.
they would get so much money for speeding tickets.
Right.
All these things would be beneficial, but I understand it's different. But instead of reading what I wanted to say, I'm going to save it for next time.
Okay.
But
Well, we
I
were
hope we
prepared
can.
to do this tonight. So
I'm sorry?
I said we were prepared to approve this tonight, so.
I know.
All right.
But I get it. I know.
We'll revisit next
That was
week.
part of your
Well,
frustration.
I'm just
I
scared,
hear
like
you.
now
Yep.
it's summer, these e-bikes are out of control, the e-scooters, someone is going to die, another car went through a house in Thornridge. When I saw that, I'm giving the mom a couple weeks, but I am going to speak to her
Yeah,
because that is they just moved in there. I mean, it just could be such a nice neighborhood, and I want to fight for that, so.
Our police, our next agenda item, if you stick around, is e-bikes and
Yeah,
scooters.
I know about it.
Not necessarily on the street, but our police have been doing a lot of enforcement. There is a memo here with a
I
list
know
of
at the board meeting, or
stuff
the
they've
traffic
been
meeting,
doing.
they were talking about it, so I am aware. But someone's going to get killed on Thornridge Drive.
Thank you. I'm sorry we didn't approve this tonight.
Thank you for your time.
So that's item 9 is.
Derek, thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Consideration of approval of authorization of advertisement for ordinance amending chapter 168, Parks, section 2. Definitions in section 14, motor vehicles.
Yeah, this is just action to authorize the advertising, and of course, it would come back in front of the board at the next meeting for adoption purposes.
Right. This is e-bikes in our parks and scooters. Any questions from board members? No. We've all seen this.
No.
Any public comment needed? I see no hands. Is there a motion to advertise?
Back there.
Oh, one in the back.
Oh, I'm
John.
sorry, go ahead. Come on, you have to come up and use the mic. Go ahead.
I'm getting there. Greg Thompson, Vermilion Hills, Route Corner.
We're talking about e-bikes in the parks. We've had problems over and over with our,
Only in the parks?
in the
Been
township
on
parks.
New Falls Road lately? Holy
No,
crap.
yeah, right, well, we can't limit them on New Falls Road. The law is the law. We can't control what they're doing on New Falls Road. I mean,
But if
half of
they're
them are
driving
illegal.
Against traffic. And
Yeah.
I almost took one out the other day.
It happens all the
Like, I
time.
made a right out of, onto New Falls, out of Vermilion. And just, I don't know what made me look this way. And this guy was flying.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody like licensing, training, like a local ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, if I could just say, I know that you had a concern about this specifically, probably about 2 months ago, and you asked
Yeah.
the police to step up
Yeah.
enforcement township-wide, which they've
I
done.
was just gonna touch on that.
There is a report that you've been provided, and they're following the state law. There's no additional laws that can be, the town can act related at the local level for licensing and things
Or
like that. But
speeding or
they
anything?
are enforcing the laws that are on the books, and the chairman might provide you some data, but the police have been really active
So I
in
want
this.
to go over a few of these right with you. So officer-initiated contacts is 33. This is just in the past month. 26 citations they have issued, 2 arrests.
Cool.
30 parent warnings. So they see the kids, they go to the parents' house and have a conversation with the parents because they're not chasing anybody. They're not going to chase kids and kill somebody. 7 vehicles towed. 7 fleeing violations. I don't have my glasses on.
I actually tried to
That's
get away
10.
from
10, I'm sorry. Near miss crashes reported. There's a whole bunch of them, but they are working.
Okay, good.
They're doing what they can. Like we
I
don't
just
have.
noticed more of them. They're saying they got some speed behind them.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's crazy. The crazy thing is the electric scooters are not legal on the street. Period. There's no
the
gray
scooters
area.
aren't, but the bicycles
No,
are.
the scooters are not. They're not legal on the street. They're only legal on private property. So these kids you see zooming around on the scooters, they are
Like those
100%
electric,
illegal.
whatever they call, like the fancy, big tired,
All of them.
flying.
Yeah.
Because
Now, I get
someone's
it, there's a
gonna
lot
be
of people
killed.
that use them for
I know.
transportation, the ones that you can pedal is an
Yeah.
e-bike. If it
People-
doesn't have pedals, it's a motorcycle.
People are getting killed all
Yeah.
over the place. It's really scary.
Yeah, you go to any emergency room, I have a friend that works in the pediatric emergency room at Capitol Health, and she told me that all day long, every day, there's somebody in there all the time with some kind of
Something,
injury, and it's usually a head injury, or hands and everything else from their face, from either at a bike or a scooter or something else. But what we're doing tonight is specifically in our parks,
Oh,
because
okay.
we can do that. We've had issues several times with these kids harassing our park security, taunting them, trying to get them to chase them probably. But the one thing we can do is limit them in our parks.
Hey, things changed since we were growing up.
Yeah, we just rode our bikes
Yeah, everywhere.
With pedals.
I had a
everywhere.
question from earlier. I don't know if I can say it.
Real quick.
I signed up to say something before when they're talking about the data
Yeah.
center thing. But was there 2 lists or something, like one
There's
for?
a non-resident list that we didn't get to. We went
Oh,
through
maybe
45
maybe
minutes.
Maybe next time.
All right,
Okay,
thank you
thanks.
very much.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
So we're going to advertise this now. Did we already do this?
Well, we need a motion in a second, I believe.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Is
I think
there
we
a-
need the motion, unless I missed it.
I'll make the motion again.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 10, Consideration to waive a permit fee for the Fallsington Library. Any
Yeah, this
questions?
request, $1,549.50. It's for a permit fee that they had there, the nonprofit library.
Yep. Any questions from board members?
None.
Any public comment needed? See no hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have money that we collect in taxes. Is that what this is, correct?
It is.
That
This
we've
is,
held for the, go ahead.
this would be a motion. Well, the town's always had some sort of a fund balance related to the Fallsington Library, and we did some additional research on it and believe we need to transfer that money to them. So this would be a motion to transfer the fund balance other than $1,000 to Fallsington Library. That's approximately $12,830. Moving forward in future years, we know that all the tax revenue we receive from the very specific library tax will be forwarded to the Fallsington Library. This is a one-time action by the board.
All right, any questions from board members?
No.
Any public comment needed? See no hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 12, consideration of approval ratifying the township insurance policy for the period of June 18th through June 18th, 2026 through June 18th, 2027. Commercial, general liability, law enforcement liability, excess, employment and practices liability, excess, environmental, flood and cyber risk policies. Mr. Shepherd.
Yeah, these are all just ratifications. This is what we do every year. These are one-year policies. Our broker goes out to the market, looks for additional coverages from different carriers, and the good news is some of our premiums did go down, some went up. Ultimately, our premium stays relatively consistent between 2025 and 2026, which is certainly a good thing. One coverage we did get recommended additional coverage is employment practices, excess liability. That provides us some additional coverage in the event we have any claims. We also have that for the police professional, because as you know, police claims, hopefully we don't have any related to conduct, but if you do, they can be expensive claims. So just a recommendation to ratify all of those coverages. If there's any specific questions about any of those coverages and the premiums, I certainly could provide you additional information. I do believe I sent that earlier today to you, just so you know the amounts.
Any questions from board members?
None.
No.
Any public comment needed? Yep.
Tony Batiste, and just a quick question. Will any of these policies cover the township if Amazon sues us?
Mike? I don't know if that's specific enough for you to answer.
Sues us for what?
Well, if we decide to change something with their zoning or assess them fees for something that they weren't aware was coming or something like that, and they decide to sue. I mean, they're suing some of the other townships, so are we covered?
Every time a lawsuit gets filed against the township and it goes to our insurance carrier, the insurance carrier sends us what is known as a reservation of rights letter. And what that letter says is, we are going to defend you, we will pay for your defense, and if there is a verdict against you, we will pay you unless, and then there are certain factors that are involved. If we were, and I won't use Amazon as an example, if we were to attempt to assess an illegal tax or an illegal fee against any business of the township, or if we were trying to shut down a lawfully operating business that hasn't violated any laws or regulations, there is a very good chance our insurance company would say, you shouldn't have done that, and we're not going to pay this claim.
Okay, but if we legally do that,
Then,
then we should be covered.
sure.
Okay.
That's, what are we doing here?
I would just take a motion to ratify all those policies that are listed on the agenda.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Consideration of approval of escrow releases. We have one escrow release for Calamar Properties 9,000 Bristol Pike, Old Bristol Pike, in the amount of $2,818.20. It's an earth disturbance escrow release. Is there any questions from board members?
No.
No.
Any public comment needed? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That takes us to the minutes. Any questions, comments, corrections on the minutes from May 18th? Excellent minutes as always, Mrs. Pullen. None? If not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to the engineer report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now, just wait real quick.
Yes.
We did the minutes. Okay, engineer report, go ahead.
Okay, last month we had 2 submissions, 1 new land development and 1 new earth disturbance. Our highlights are identified in red text as usual. I'm sure you've seen the report. We're here to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Any questions or comments from board members? None?
No.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jones. That takes us to the bill list. We have a bill list in the amount of $3,052,804.37. Any questions or comments from the bill list from board members?
No.
No.
Is there any public comment needed? See no hands. Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Shepherd?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer, Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
Yes. That takes us to the Jones Engineering Associates bill list in the amount of $283,375.10. Any questions or comments on that bill list?
No.
Any public comment needed? There's no hands. Is there a motion to pay the bill?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
I abstain. That takes us to manager comment. Mr. Shepherd?
Nothing additional tonight, thank you.
That takes us to board comment. Mr. Galloway?
No comment.
Latecki?
None.
We will be observing the 4th of July on July 3rd. Is that correct? So the offices
Yes.
will be closed?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Palmer, nothing?
No comment.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I just,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I live here too. I just wanted to thank Mr. Shepherd for fixing the air, like, too well, probably. And that's all, thank you.
No one's ever happy here, that's my comment. But noted.
Did a great job.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.